The so-called war against drugs, it's often said that marijuana is the lead-in drug to other things, cocaine, crack, heroin, what have you. My question is, if there were no marijuana, would not essentially the same number of people go to crack, cocaine, heroin, etc.?
Okay, the question is that marijuana is oftentimes suggested as a lead-in drug that leads to more serious drugs, cocaine, heroin, and so forth, and that if there were no marijuana, would there still be the same number of people who would have taken the marijuana moving into the harder drugs? I think it's impossible to say, but I think the most important thing about this is that drug addiction ultimately is a psychological problem. It's a problem that's going on inside of a person. I mean, there's no difference in principle between marijuana, cocaine, liquor, cigarettes. I mean, people know that these things are harmful, at least in large quantities, and yet they consume them. You've got alcoholics. There's something going on internally, and so that's why when the people say, how do you defeat an alcohol addiction or a drug addiction? The answer always is go into therapy. You know, going cold turkey, putting somebody in prison hardly ever works. Go in there and seek out the reason. So I don't know exactly how the numbers would work out, but if there was no marijuana, let's say they were successful in stomping that out, I have no doubts that person that seeks some kind of painkiller would go to something else, cocaine, liquor, or whatever. And another point about this is that, you see, if you legalize all this stuff, then you also get the addict more willing to seek treatment openly. I mean, the most successful drug rehab program in history is AA, Alcoholics Anonymous, which is totally government-free, totally private. And their idea is you got to talk about it. You got to talk about your addiction and the problems that are leading to that addiction. When there's criminal penalties that go along with that addiction, people are very reluctant to come out and start talking about it. And so that would be another advantage of legalizing the drugs. Yeah, the statists never give up. And the statists are always fighting. I mean, it's what Jefferson said, you know, eternal vigilance. So even if we achieve freedom, we got to keep fighting for it.
Dale, can you make it quick?
Jacob, I just want to make a comment that you brought us a message today of great music. And I think the Stradivarius that you played is wonderful. And while everybody in this room is an individual, and we're a group of individuals who all think differently, we can all appreciate that music. We can take note and exception to a note. The melody is wonderful, and as far as I'm concerned, and many of us here, you're welcome back anytime.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you very much. I want to...
Let's comment from Jeremy. Jeremy Davis has underwritten this wonderful event. Jeremy, thank you very much. Please stand up so we can give you a round of applause. Now, what's your comment? Do you have a comment or a question?
Our universal school vouchers and answer, how do you all feel about that?
No.
Someone said that would
Come with free.
private schools.
The question is, are vouchers an answer? And I agree with the chorus here. It's horrible. I mean, it's just as immoral. You're taking money from one group of people against their will. You're funding somebody else's education. And it gets the tentacles of the state involved in the private sector. Because he who pays the piper calls the tune. I want to thank y'all too. I mean, I love preaching to the choir, and while we don't always agree on everything, it's a lot of fun. This is where the future of America lies. I put some material out on your seats. You got a free book and also a free sample of our publication, Freedom Daily. It goes for $25 a year or $15 by email. Love to have you support our work through a subscription. Visit our website. We have a lot more up there than you get on our written publications. And check out our conference. We're going to be posting all those videos and audios. And thank you very much. Really appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
We have a free book for you, sir.
All right.
Copy of Land Use
Oh,
Zoning
man.
by
Awesome.
Professor Bernard C., one of the archangels of the choir. This